I I figured I'd like to tell you something incredibly bizarre. And what is very bizarre is this, the VHS of Pocahontas. Now, for those of you who are wondering, what makes the VHS of Pocahontas very bizarre? Well, particularly its early copies of Pocahontas that make it incredibly bizarre, because the VHS of Pocahontas was originally released back on February 28th, 1996 in the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection lineup. However, for some odd reason, early printings of the VHS of Pocahontas had the 1989 Walt Disney Classics logo with Sorcerer Mickey make a surprise appearance, even though the Walt Disney Classics lineup discontinued in 1994. And what makes it an early copy? Well, an early copy would be a copy printed in December of 1995, around early to mid-December of 1995. For example, December 13th or December 14th or December 15th. That would be an early printing. Now, this is printed on December 14th, 1995. In fact, the copies with the Walt Disney Classics logo, the earliest copy you could find with the Walt Disney Classics logo, would have a print date reading December 13th, 1995. And if you find a copy with a print date of December 13th, 1995, chances are you're going to get a copy with the Walt Disney Classics logo. But if you have a copy with a print date of December 14th, 1995, and onward, this is where it can get very confusing. Because if you wound up with a copy printed on December 14th, 1995, you'll get one of the two opening options. You'll either get version number 1 with the Walt Disney Classics logo, or version number 2 with the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo. Now, I'm going to do a little comparison here, because a comparison between Jack T's copy and my copy of Pocahontas. Now, both Jack T and my copies, they both have an ink label, and they both have a print date of December 14th of 1995. But Jack T's copy features the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo right after the lilac blue feature presentation screen. So that means Jack T's copy is version number 2. But as for my copy has the 1989 Walt Disney Classics logo right after the lilac blue feature presentation screen, which makes this copy version number 1. Because I have uploaded this particular opening to archive.org 4 years back in 2020. You see, that's what's very confusing, because you could wind up with an ink label and a print date of December 14th of 1995, but you're not sure which version is which until you pop the tape in. When I checked my copy in, my copy was version 1. So that means that this copy features the Walt Disney Classics logo. You're guaranteed it's going to be version 1 if it has the Walt Disney Classics logo, or version 2 will have the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo. So, since this copy is version 1, this one has the Walt Disney Classics logo. I'm going to show you that logo and why it accidentally appears on early copies, including this one.
feature presentation.
Wow, talk about a rare gem here, because the Walt Disney Classics logo from 1989 would usually appear on the Walt Disney Classics releases, released between 1989 and 1992, but this tape was released in 1996, and for some reason, the Walt Disney Classics logo appears on earlier copies of the tape, the 1989 variant. I know a few other YouTube users that also have a copy with the same print date as mine, with the Walt Disney Classics logo on it as well, like Andrew's Magic and More and Michael Johnson. And I know a few other users that have a copy printed on December 14th of 1995 that is also version 2, just like Jack T's copy with the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo on it. And two other users that I could think of that have version 2 with the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo and the print date of December 14th of 1995 also include Converse's W fans and Aubrey Scott Productions copies. And Aubrey Scott Productions also had a copy printed on December 13th of 1995 with the Walt Disney Classics logo on it too. And that's what makes early copies of Pocahontas incredibly confusing, because if you wound up getting a copy with an ink label and an early printing from December 14th of 1995, then a copy with the Walt Disney Classics logo on it would become even rarer. And in this case, the Walt Disney Classics logo does appear here. This makes it an incredibly rare gem, because this is the copy that has an ink label, has a print date of December 14th of 1995, and is version number 1 with the Walt Disney Classics logo. More commonly, if you wound up getting an ink label copy with a print date like that around December of 1995, for example, December 16th, 1995, December 17th, 1995. Usually, if you wound up with ink label copies with a print date like that, then it would most likely be version number 2 rather than version number 1. But thankfully, this is version number 1. Because I know a couple of other users. I know Jeremy Barton's copy was printed on December 16th, 1995. That was version number 2 with the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo. Same thing goes for New Time Travel Hyman 88's copy, printed on December 15th of 1995. That was also version number 2 with the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo on it. And speaking of which, I had more copies of Pocahontas with the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo on it, and that's why I had a string of bad luck, because I was trying really hard to come across a copy with the Walt Disney Classics logo as early as I could. The first copy that I've gotten was printed on January 15th, 1996, and that had the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo and was version number 2. The second copy I've gotten was printed January 4th of 1996. That also had the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo on it and was version number 2. The third copy that I've gotten was printed on December 28th of 1995. That was also version 2, and it also had the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo. And then the fourth copy that I've gotten was printed on December 26th of 1995 with the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo on it as well, which was version number 2 as well. The 5th one I've gotten was printed February 10th of 1996 that had the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo at the beginning and was version number 2. The 6th copy I've gotten was printed January 8th of 1996 that also had the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo at the beginning, which was version number 2. And the 7th copy, which was the copy before I got this one, the copy that I've got before it, the 7th copy, was printed on December 17th of 1995, and it still was version number 2 with the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo on it. But after I got that copy, that's when I asked multiple sellers on eBay if they could possibly have a copy with the 1989 Walt Disney Classics logo with Sorcerer Mickey, and after waiting a few days, I finally got a response from one of the sellers who happened to have this copy of the tape. He checked this copy of the tape. He popped it in. It had and this copy of the tape, he checked it. This copy of the tape had the 1989 Walt Disney Classics logo on it. And according to the print date, it was December 14th of 1995 as well. So, this is the copy that the seller previously had before I bought it. He checked this copy. This had the Walt Disney Classics logo. And after I saw the picture of the Walt Disney Classics logo captured from this particular copy of the tape, I said, that's exactly what I need to get it. So after I saw the picture of the Walt Disney Classics logo captured from this copy of the tape, that's when I finally bought it. And a week after I bought it, it got delivered to my house, and I popped the tape in, and after I saw the previews and everything, and after we got through the Lilac Blue feature presentation screen, I saw the 1989 Walt Disney Classics logo on this tape. And when I saw the Walt Disney Classics logo on this tape, I felt very surprised and proud of myself for waiting patiently to get a copy of Pocahontas with the Walt Disney Classics logo. And this is the copy. This was my 8th and final try. So it wasn't until I got this copy when I found one with the Walt Disney Classics logo. Phew! And I know that there are some copies printed on December 20th and December 21st of 1995 that Robert Guzman and NWB 1989 have, that also have the 1989 Walt Disney Classics logo on both of those copies with a sticker label on both of them. But it's not really as common to find compared to earlier copies of Pocahontas, like from December 13th and 14th of 1995 with the Walt Disney Classics logo. And in my case, mine had the more common ink label, which was far more common, but it had the print date of December 14th of 1995, and I was very lucky that this copy was version number 1 with the Walt Disney Classics logo, because the other copies I've gotten were version number 2 with the Masterpiece Collection logo, until I got this one, which was version number 1. Anyway, that's how confusing it can be to tell apart from version number 1 and version number 2. Especially if it comes to an earlier printing of a tape. I will see you guys later.